Welcome, Libra. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot getting ready to do your energy reading for the winter solstice. This is occurring on the winter solstice, still in the new moon energy of Sagittarius, that is loosely coupled with this particular return of the light ritual. And this is the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere. For clarity, this is very different in the southern hemisphere, where I also have friends and connections. So I am thinking through the differences that occur between the north and the south, and I am meditating on how to integrate your experience in a way that is somewhat different. So as an example, the winter solstice here, although quite possibly called the same thing there, I'm not sure, is actually akin to our summer solstice, the longest day of the year, in which you are looking for your place or position in the world, among the world. And the winter solstice happens to be the very opposite. This is where you're clarifying your energy in a bid to set intentions for the new year. So I'm going to start with the first chakra. And this is the chakra of generations, where we come from, not only in physically from the land and the earth, but our generations, our ancestors. And the 10 of Pentacles indicates that something that you are currently engaged in investing a lot of energy, working with dedication, is towards a legacy. This doesn't feel like a legacy that you began. It feels like a legacy you are part of. So this is some effort based on an inheritance or a largesse or a philanthropic effort that perhaps your family or your community has carried forward for many generations. You are actively engaged in extending this effort, this giving back in some substantial way. Since it's at the first chakra, the root chakra, I am connecting it physically to land, to building a structure. This is a material location that may house or be the site of some kind of center, some kind of service that you offer to others. And this is a way of not only giving back, but of generating more abundance. The idea of this investment is to invest in opportunities for others to grow and generate their own, in many cases, independent abundance. In the second chakra, which is the sacral chakra, the way that you get pleasure through your senses, the way you experience joy in the world and through your gift. The Three of Pentacles really builds quite directly on this legacy, where you not only are carrying forward some real life tradition, but you're also doing it in collaboration with others. This can be other family members, but for many of you, I feel that this is more a family of expertise, a collaboration in which all members are equal peers and in which you contribute from your place of strength. So this is beautiful energy, because what you are building upon is intended to be an improvement upon something that already exists. You're making something better. You are producing something that is excellent, of beautiful quality, that is useful to others, that is a resource for others. And this requires a village, as is indicated on the cards, but and because it is about generating and building upon abundance, this does come from a place of acknowledging that abundance, recognizing the abundance, the gift, the privileges that you have, in order to share them in a way that they can be useful to all kinds of other people. In the third chakra, this is the solar plexus, where you're confident, where you are assertive around your needs and your desires, your goals. This can often be the place where, because we've been judged, we anticipate that judgment, then we judge ourselves in a defensive mode. This can be you're defending yourself from attacks. The Page of Swords here tells me that you've taken this into a new direction. This thing that I feel you strongly building upon is moving in a direction that you have understood as a response to the times we're in. So when this was originally seeded to you, perhaps through an inheritance or from an already existing largesse or trust, you have moved it into a new direction that you believe will address the current situation in a way that requires you to learn, to grow, to open up to an inclusion of more thoughts, more ideas, more voices. You are studying with others. You may be finding examples of the kind of trust or philanthropy or organization that you want to build. And you may, in fact, be shadowing those institutions or individuals that head up those kinds of institutions so that you can learn more about the possibilities to communicate and connect beyond your physical location. Even if the location, the place, the buildings are part of your legacy. So this is how you're extending this into the world, and you're admittedly new to this level of communication, to presence in the world. And so you are gratefully learning from others, but you are actively exploring these possibilities. The heart chakra puts you in the center. It highlights your authentic desires, the desires that come from your heart, from where you believe now that you are worthy and deserving of that. This has been something that you've had to personally consider over a long period of time. You are taking your time. There is no hurry here. You're open to the ideas, to the thoughts, to the academic almost review of the challenges to get to where you are now. And that has required you to understand the patterns that you once engaged in very unconsciously that left you depleted, perhaps that exacerbated the conflicts that were in the family, of whom to some degree you share this largesse with. You have gone your own way. That's really strong here. You are striking out independently, but you haven't been able to move forward without your deeper understanding of the patterns and the challenges you faced in attempting to integrate or be a part of the legacy, the good part, that required difficult debates, discussions, even arguments, certainly disagreements about the way these resources should be used appropriately. But ultimately, you have come to a better place. You recognize that you are in a place of gratitude. You could not be where you are. You could not have the clarity, the consciousness, the gratitude if it weren't for the struggles you had to overcome. So this is a beautiful card of resting in this present winter solstice energy, northern or southern hemisphere. It doesn't matter where you are. The energy is the same. You're in gratitude. You're holding on to that. You're appreciating that. You're looking at its development in your life and how you've come to this place of feeling so incredibly gifted and fortunate. In the throat chakra, the fifth chakra, this is where you tell your story. This is where you model your experience, the new version of you. So we're already coming from a deep natural place of the joy of sharing resources, collaborating with others, exchanging ideas, taking turns being in leadership or teaching others, and stepping back and learning from others. The Five of Wands is that at a different level. This is you orchestrating the teams where you delegate the work appropriately, but you're in that team that you are delegating. You're not delegating by giving each member an assignment. You delegate by confabbing the group together, considering it, discussing it, learning about it, coming up with solutions together. And in that way, your strength that you model through this process allows others to desire that same kind of authority from their position. In that way, everyone can take credit for the progress, for whatever it is you create. And that's what you want. You want an equitable engagement among your co-creators. And this is very much in keeping with who you are. This is very much the way in which you are reshaping how you communicate, how you exchange information with others. The nature of the information that you are sharing with others, you are learning how to do that in a new way. In the sixth chakra, this is the third eye, and this is where we see the truth. We feel the truth, we sense the truth, we prioritize the truth in the heart chakra. We speak the truth, we speak our truth in the throat chakra, but in the third eye chakra, we see the truth. And here, I think you're seeing something that is more deeply informing the place that that your legacy comes from. You may be understanding some kind of historical situation or event that was exploitive. Maybe a way in which, as an example, the land that you inherited was in dispute, was illegally obtained or unethically obtained. Let me say it that way. Because it may be legal, but it may not be ethical. That's just an example, one in which you can apply to your own situation. But learning this information is challenging for you. It helps you to see more clearly the truth of your situation, perhaps the truth of your inheritance or your largesse or money that has been entrusted to you. Whatever it is, this is helping you to understand that you are in a position to refashion some unfortunate event into a way that you give back, that you re-engage a community, individuals that have been excluded inappropriately, and you're in the power of bringing them into the community as fully vested members. In the seventh chakra, this is the crown chakra. This is so very lovely. This is where you are open to the assistance of the universe, be that through divine support, ancestors, relatives that have passed away, historical information, or models that you are inspired by. However that information is coming to you, you're recognizing opportunities you never saw before. And it is in many cases as a result of this difficult truth that you are seeing and maneuvering. You're changing this story in some critical way. You're finding a way to redeem some unfortunate circumstance in the past in which some damage was done. You now see opportunities. This information is actually directing you towards ways that you can heal the community, the family of origin, your family of origin, and create a greater abundance for more people. So the initial project of the legacy, as I'm sensing it, is being altered by your awareness of how this legacy was earned or accumulated. You're seeing a way in which to dispense these resources in a way that balances out some injustice that was done. And through that balancing, you see a multiplicity of opportunities to expand your world, to build this model in the right way. And this is quite a huge responsibility I see for some of you in whatever sphere that you're operating, wherever this applies for you. I'm going to clarify the heart and the throat chakras as kind of the center of the spine, the center of your body, where your energy is being purified. Everything goes back to the heart. So in the past, we have the King of Pentacles for the Four of Swords, and in the future, the Two of Pentacles. For the Five of Wands at the throat chakra, the version of yourself that you are building in community, we have the Queen of Swords in the past and the Lovers in the future. So here at the heart, this beautiful rest and solace, this time of recovery that you are claiming as your spiritual pause, your spiritual foundation, you're reclaiming this, you're refashioning this, again, based on some truth and patterns you've seen and understood around your family of origin for many of you. How you are recognizing the truth and the way in which your resources have been used in the past that have perhaps contributed to an inequity in the family system, the family order. You are understanding that you have an opportunity again to build that on a solid foundation, to reinvest in the community through your abundance, through your generosity, in a way that shows others how you have gained success, you have gained access to resources, sharing those in a way that is altering the past into possibilities for the future. And I hope the message is coming through very clearly that you have an opportunity to change a family trauma, destiny, or path that is significant to a larger community. I feel like you are taking those resources and you're reinvesting them into the community in a different way, in a way that brings equity and fairness to a process that feels one-sided in the past, that allowed one sector of that community to build up its resources unevenly, unfairly, unjustly. At the throat chakra, the Queen of Swords is showing your ability to be dispassionate about the powerful feelings that all of this truth has exposed. So we're talking about family. We can be talking about an organization or a project just as easily. But the family is what seeded the sense that you are now challenging around a way to put aside the feelings, not to deny them, but to distance yourself from them, detach yourself from them, so that you can entertain the appropriate ideas, open up, invite the voices of others and the ideas of others to the table, so that you can ask the right questions. Your curiosity is leading you here. You thought it was one way. Now that you've learned there's a different story about the origin of perhaps wealth or largesse that you've inherited, and now you want to hear how that has affected others. You're understanding how it's affecting you and your idea of what your responsibility actually is. But now you see yourself approaching those who you now see as having been unfairly impacted by the growth of this wealth, this abundance that your family has claimed. The Lovers here indicates that this realignment is coming from a more authentic place, a clear recognition that you're dealing with human beings who have all been affected, human beings that are deeply connecting to their needs and their dreams. All dreams, all voices are being brought to the table and articulated in a way that, yes, at times causes division and debate, but ultimately aligns into a long-term and beneficial partnership. And this is what keeps the balance and harmony equitable because of your inclusion of the different players who have stakes in whatever this largesse is, whatever this effort, trust, organization is. So long-term benefit is the goal that you're now creating with other players, not just exclusively your voice, your family's or your organization's voice. You are authentically collaborating with others engaged. This is a beautiful reading, Libra. I want to thank you so much for your likes, your subscribes, and all the ways that you support me here at Pacific Tarot. I have deep gratitude for you at the end of this year and best wishes for you in 2026. So until next time, namaste.